Donkey Kong Country 3 is a game where you play as Dixie Kong and Kitty Kong. It's a side-scrolling platformer for the Super Nintendo, and it's one of the best games I've ever played. The core of the game is simple. Most of it is you just run around and you jump on dudes, and you jump over dudes. But there's a lot more to the game than that. Every level is unique. Every level has its own special gimmick. Like this level has the fish in the water and the clasps that are these explosive guys on the ropes that you have to jump over. No other level is like that. But for every level, all you gotta do is just get to the end and grab the flag. Along the way, you get to be some of these other animal buddies, like Squawks the parrot, or the Squidder the spider that you'll see later. Each one of these has its own special mechanic, like Squawks can fly and shoot crackers, and Squidder can shoot webs. But not only does every level have its own mechanic, every level, even if it's the same type of level, has at least a different color scheme. So everything looks different, everything looks fresh all the time. So this is a great example of how much work the developers of this game would put in just for one little thing. So this isn't a bonus barrel, which is just an extra thing that you can do for completion, but you don't have to beat the game. They made this entire system where you control the guy who, through most of the rest of the level, is shooting at you. Now this is a great example of why this game really shines. So here, this is the first time you can use the elephant's suck up water and shoot it mechanic. And so you don't know how to do it yet. So naturally they put the buttons that you have to press to do it on the screen in bananas. And this is just a little thing, but they put in every level in the first two worlds a little warp barrel, so you don't have to do the first two worlds again if you play the game again. One of the coolest things about this game is the bosses. Each one of the bosses has its own mechanics and its own way to fight. So that one was you have to throw things in its mouth to push it backwards to a certain point. This one is an entirely different control scheme where you have to throw snowballs at a snowman and hit him in the chest without getting hit by his snowballs. And in this one you use the swordfish to hit urchins and things back at this giant urchin and then hit him in the face. And there are a couple others where you play as animal buddies. And then this is part of the final boss, where you fight this robot guy, but you're still moving around like you normally do in all the different levels. And then this is the other part of the final boss, where you have to... There's several different stages to this part of the fight, where you have to go and you have to hit a switch and drop a barrel, and then you throw the barrel at the back of the guy and make him get electrocuted. This is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, and especially one of the most beautiful Super Nintendo games I've ever seen. And this level is a really good example of that. You've got this really pretty cliff background behind you, and then there's kind of another layer of background, and so it makes this really, really nice parallax effect that looks beautiful. And then this level is also just really pretty, and then the music makes it super atmospheric. So basically this is the best game ever, and it's innately tied to my being because I've been playing it since before I can remember. So I'm just gonna leave you here to listen to this music.